Greetings and salutations. This is the voice of Loquacious of Herd, bringing you his afterthoughts on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 5, Episode 4, titled Bloom and Gloom. I heartily suggest that you find and watch the episode itself sans commentary before proceeding with either this Afterthoughts review or viewing my full reaction, which is hosted at the link in the description. Be warned, this Afterthoughts review will contain spoilers for this episode. With that out of the way, a note before we move on to the review itself. This spoken herd review will be relatively brief, as there was a more extensive written herd segment produced for this episode. That written herd segment is available in Google Drive under details in the Blind Reactions description. Bloom and Gloom centers, as one might expect, around Apple Bloom and the Cutie Mark Crusaders. This time around, we see Apple Bloom propelled into an emotional crisis, not from the lack of her cutie mark, but with worries about what might come if the cutie mark she eventually gets isn't up to her expectations. All this is prompted by the news that her cousin Babs Seed has finally gotten her own cutie mark. But what does this mean for the head of the Manhattan branch of the CMC? Since she's not striving to find her own cutie mark anymore, does this mean Babs is no longer a crusader? Fear about how a change of this sort will affect the social dynamics of the Crusaders is one of Apple Bloom's worries. Will getting her cutie mark also mean that she might lose her friends? Other concerns include worries about how her family, all of them bearing Apple-related marks, might react should young Apple Bloom wind up with something else on her flank. And in addition, what if her special talent, that aspect of her natural magical gifts that will literally mark her out as special, what if that winds up being something she just doesn't like? For the first time, the Crusaders, through Apple Bloom, begin to look at the prospect of what getting their cutie marks might actually mean. How would things change? And what are the real challenges and hurdles of such a personal transformation? Having loaded herself down with such worries, Apple Bloom's slumber isn't exactly restful. Indeed, the shenanigans that ensue regarding her Groundhog Day-esque awakening over and over again as Apple Bloom cycles through dream after dream are quite amusing, all while she's trying to come to grips with far too many worries at once. Her own subconscious, her dark side, strives to help, but these aids aren't well understood, nor are they entirely welcome. But there is an alicorn princess in Equestria whose duty it is to watch over the dreams of her subjects, and with a little help from Luna, Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo all come to terms with a few very real fears involving the potential downsides of someday getting their cutie marks. I found the story delightful, and delightfully told. I was particularly impressed by how this episode serves to show a gradual deepening and maturation of the Crusaders. Those little fillies, slowly but surely, are growing up. If you wish to see my full reaction to My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 5, Episode 4, titled Bloom and Gloom, the link, as I mentioned earlier, is in the description. Feel free to leave any comments or likes for that reaction here on this Afterthoughts review. In addition, the full text of the original written herd segment for my blind reaction to Bloom and Gloom is available on Google Drive under details in the video's description. So now, until next time, as always, kindly remember, y'all are awesome. Stay awesome.